All right, guys, welcome to our live watch along of Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League semifinal presented by FanDuel. How are we doing today, guys? Yes, Johnny Cardoso is on the bench, but if Atletico, first of all, there's a good chance he could play in this game. Second of all, if Atletico Madrid win today, Johnny Cardoso could become only the second ever American to play in a Champions League final. And that's exciting. How are we doing today, guys? What's up, Kevin? Jar says, let's go, Johnny, the only one who can save us from Roldan. Yeah, we really need Johnny to be there and playing well for club as well, obviously. How are you guys doing today? Who's watching from work? Who's watching from school? What have you guys been up to? Who are we going to see today? Greg Berhalter Arsenal or BJ Callahan Arsenal? I'll be honest, Arsenal are the favorites to win this. They got a 1-1 draw at home. Atletico sort of held on as long as they could. But truth be told, guys, Arsenal looked a lot better. And I like USMNT bias aside, I'm pretty sure Arsenal's going to win this game. So yeah, hopefully Johnny gets off the bench, guys, and hopefully he plays well. That's the main thing that we need from him right now. Sean Green, hopefully it's a good game for Johnny. Wig4366, what's up, Pete? Just got here, currently watching you at work. Let's get this party going. Yes, let's, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Just grab the Stars and Stripes kit for the World Cup. I got mine. I got my jersey, so I didn't get the white at the back. And that's really, really nice because the white at the back just looks awful. I also have to be forced to put a number and a player's name on my jersey. It's my jersey. So yeah. UEFA Champions League kicking off. Pete, would you like to give a shout out to Gianluca Busio, who helped Venezia to get promoted back to the Serie A? I'll take him over Roldan any freaking day. Yes, congratulations. And to Busio, who played a big part in that. So far, we have two guys who helped their clubs get promoted this year. So Haji Wright at Coventry and Gianluca Busio over at Venezia. Now, Aidan Morris could still help Middlesbrough get promoted as well. We don't know yet. Watching stream on Switch. My phone going to die in a minute. Switch to another phone or to an iPad or a laptop or a TV. If you had to get a player, who would you get on your jersey? Ooh, right now, probably Balogun. I'd probably get Balogun. I think this is going to be a breakout World Cup for him. We shouldn't be so hard on Roldan. Did you see that assist from him? Yes, I did, Jar. He's talking about the assist that Roldan gave to Sporting KC. He receives the ball in midfield, and under no pressure at all, passes the ball back to the keeper. Under no pressure. Couldn't receive the ball in the half turn and play it forward. Back to the keeper, but he underhit it so badly that it was an assist to Jovelic, who slotted it home. And that is in MLS, where the pressure and the time and space is minimal. Well, pressure is minimal. Time and space is much. Let me bring up here. How's the sound, by the way, guys? Sound still doing okay? Let me bring up the starting lineup, and we'll go over it. Okay, so here is the starting lineup for Arsenal. Raya in goal, about right. Ben White at right back, Calafiori at left back, Gabriel and William Saliba as the center back pairing. Lewis Skelly and Declan Rice are the double pivot. Leandro Trossard on the left, Bukayo Saka on the right, Eze in the middle, and the sometimes unfairly maligned Gyökeres at striker. For Atletico Madrid, they're in a 4-4-2. You've got Jan Oblak in goal. Ruggeri and Pubil are the fullbacks. Lenormand and Hanko the center backs. Llorente and Koke in midfield. So Llorente replaces Johnny from the last game. Not sure why they benched him. They could just be going a little more defensive. Maybe Llorente has more experience. Simeone's son, Diego Simeone's son on the right wing. Lookman on the left, with, of course, Antoine Griezmann, soon to be in Orlando, next to Alvarez up top. On the bench for Arsenal, Arrizabalaga, Tommy Setford, Christian Mosquera, Piero Hincapié, Christian Norgard, Martin Odegaard, Martin Zubimendi, Max Dowman, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Noni Madueke are on the bench. For Atletico Madrid, Juan Musso is the keeper, Clement Langley, Javier Bonar, Jose Jimenez, Julio Diaz, Nahuel Molina, Alex Baena, Johnny Cardoso, Obed Vargas, the Mexican-American, Rodrigo Mendoza, Thiago Almada, and Alexander Sorloth. It's going to be a good game, guys. Going to be a good game. So no Johnny. Johnny is on the bench. He could still play. And regardless, whether he plays or not, or starts or not, we still want Atletico to make it to the final. Because I think that would be very good for Johnny and for, another USMNT player playing potentially in a Champions League final. It's so nice to hear unbiased takes on Arsenal. I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched a ton of Arsenal this season in the Premier League. I know they're playing a lot of ugly soccer, and that has demotivated me to watch them. Plus, usually in the Saturday mornings, I got to watch all the USMNT players, and Arsenal have none. So I haven't watched a ton of them this year. But against Atletico away, they looked like the better team. Sean Green says, I went for Tillman, but I had it custom done, so I could not shell out that extra $50. Eltree and MLS fans both tell me Vargas is better than Johnny. Yeah, I mean, let them have that. This is good for Eltree fans as well, right? For them to have Obed Vargas being part of a team that's going this far and competing at this level, so much better than him staying in MLS, right? This is good for the Mexico national team. Hopefully they bring him to a World Cup. Hopefully they're not that stupid, right? But yeah, this is a very good experience for Obed. We'll see if he gets off the bench at all, but it's still very good for him regardless. And again, it's good for CONCACAF. As much as Canada and Mexico are our rivals, guys, the better they are, the better for us, because we do not benefit from thumping weak teams in CONCACAF. We don't. We benefit from as much quality and as much competition as possible. We're going to have World Cup qualifying, obviously. We're going to have a lot of different things, Nations League, Gold Cup, the more the merrier. So for me, I am very interested in watching the other countries in CONCACAF continue to improve, to get better, to grow, because it's the rising tide that lifts all boats, guys. It's the rising tide that lifts all boats. So we got to keep that in mind. We can go back to our rivalries, but at this World Cup, I'll be very interested in watching Mexico and Canada and seeing how they do, and Panama as well. Panama too, right? And Curaçao. All right, game is about to kick off any minute. Do you guys want... All right, game is kicking off any minute now. According to Fault Mob, it's already kicked off, but I'm watching on Paramount Plus, and we have just kicked off. All right, long ball from Atletico Madrid. Arsenal clear their lines. In the future World Cup qualifiers, we won't face Canada or Mexico. I know, I'm a little bit worried about that too. I'm a little bit worried about that too, guys. One on aggregate, guys. 1-1 on aggregate. Still 0-0 right now between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. Was about to watch on my own, but then I saw you streaming, LOL. Well, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Here comes Arsenal down the left. Arsenal having a lot of the ball right now. Atletico playing very defensively. For some reason, my chat is frozen. Not sure why. Is the chat still working for you guys? It's not working for me. I don't rate Johnny too highly. He's all right. I mean, I guess it depends who you're comparing him to. Here in the US, we're comparing him to Roldan and Berhalter, guys who are fighting for his World Cup spot. But sure, if you're comparing him to the best midfielders in the world, then yeah, of course. So it just depends who you're comparing him to, Caplum. Okay, says yes, we are here. I think my chat froze for a second. Is anyone else having trouble with the game stream on Paramount Plus? Okay, it just came back. It froze for a second for me. Arsenal have the ball. Atletico sitting very, very deep. Long, trying to head it down. That was not great. Throw in for Atleti from their own flag. I'm watching on Fubo, says the 6 p.m. delivery. El Abuelo de Play. K Plum says, I've heard he doesn't perform for the USMNT. Yes, that's fair. And that is really the only thing that people are debating is that however he plays for club, he hasn't really had a solid US game where you're like, yeah, this guy is of the level. The only 45 minutes he played against Belgium where he actually looked quite good, and then he got pulled off at halftime because of an injury. But you're right. He has not had a good, strong game for the US. And that's why there's doubts about him going into the World Cup, for sure. That is fair. But a player of his quality, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed at the World Cup, his quality will show if we trust him. But we'll see, right? Meanwhile, Roldan doesn't perform either and he gets a pass. Yeah, but Roldan is also the poster boy for MLS shills. MLS shills and MLS fanboys who are like, he's good in MLS, which is generally true. It's generally true. But as we all know, as we saw in the last World Cup, being good in MLS means nothing at a World Cup level. And he's not like one of the best midfielders in MLS either. He's a good MLS midfielder, but he's not like, a guy that like any team on the league would start for any team on the league. Come on, man. Roldan has only 31 chances. Give him time. I think it's more than that at this point. I think it's almost 40 caps. Roldan will be a great coach one day. I agree with that. I actually think he's he loves the game. There's a lot of passion there. And he's a very smart guy in terms of always trying to grow and understand the game. He's just so limited technically and athletically. He's so limited. And that's why he spent his whole career in MLS. And I think hopefully he does become a good coach one day. You watching Beckham and Friends on Paramount, Pete? No. I have so little time to watch TV. Here comes Bukayo Saka. Atleti playing classic Atleti ball. Classic Simeone ball. 2 banks of 4, sitting very deep, compressing time and space, making life very difficult for Arsenal. Vargas is starting in La Liga at 20 years old with decent appearances. Definitely a loss. No, Obed Vargas is absolutely a loss. Definitely a loss. And Mexico are lucky they got him. The thing is, with Obed Vargas, he was always going to pick Mexico. He always wanted to represent Mexico. And so I don't know that there was much we could have done about that. But is he a loss? Absolutely. Absolutely he is. Is Brian Gutierrez, for me, not much of a loss, just because we have so many better midfielders in that position that I don't really consider Guti a loss. But Vargas absolutely is a loss. Yeah. All right, here comes Arsenal down the left. It's Trossard, 1v1. Taps it back. Ball in. Easy catch for Oblak. Easy catch. Nobody near him. Everything for Atleti is going to be counterattack, counterattack, counterattack. Atleti on the ball now, trying to play out of the back. Arsenal sitting in a mid block. Back to Jan Oblak. Oblak with the long ball. Looking for the channel. Antoine Griezmann over the top. Oh, here we go. Nobody in the box for Atleti. Well, oh, yes, there was one. Oh, that was very close. Shot off target for Atletico Madrid. Nice ball over the top. They win the header. Griezmann over the top. He's not offside. There's no way he's offside there. Cuts it back. Oh. Oh, they were debating whether or not that was a corner. No, that's not a penalty. Shout. Get out of here. If we can develop Reigns, Memeti, etc., then the Obed loss won't be that bad. Yeah. There's also Snyder Brunel coming through at Seattle Sounders as well. So you got Snyder, Memeti, Reigns, maybe one or two others coming through the pipeline. There's also Cooper Sanchez over at Atlanta. I think Obed won't be that big of a loss if we can develop all of those players and if they pick us, right? And then if you are attacking midfield spots, I mean, Kevin Sullivan is there, Nico Shakidis is there, right? You've got those two. You've got, Albert could play there in the future, depending on how Dortmund uses him and how we set up. So then you've got younger guys like Jude Terry, for example. Taha Habrun is another one. It's definitely a loss, for sure. Like, we could absolutely take Obed Vargas to this World Cup, and I would if he was ours. Oh, here comes Arsenal. Shot from distance, way over the bar. Calafiori. One thing this regime has really dropped is the ball on dual nats, but oh well. Yeah, they absolutely have. Do you think Obed can take significant minutes away from Johnny next season? I doubt it. I think Johnny is a much more polished player than Obed. But we'll see. Obed's still young. He's only 20, right? So he's still very young. Pete, did you see that AI slop USMNT ad? Yes, I didn't see it, but I saw that it was being peddled, and I refused to watch AI slop. So I did not watch it. And it looked like nonsense also. Pukstas, yeah, that's another one. Rokas Pukstas as well. But that kid needs to get out of the Croatian league because at some point it's like, dude, we love what you're doing there. That's great. But if you want to be taken seriously for a national team spot, you need to leave Hajduk and go to a top 5, top 6 league in Europe. Otherwise, you're just not going to be taken seriously, which is totally fair. It's the same thing we say about MLS players. Great. You're a promising player in MLS. Once you reach a ceiling there, move on. Move on. Go prove yourself at a higher level. The national team is going to have more and more European players as time goes on. So if you want to even be in consideration, you are going to have to be playing in Europe. Will Saka have 3 shots on goal? Possibly. Possibly. Foul? Yeah, that's a foul. Yeah. Lewis Skelly. Hooks just wanted out. He just refused to go to MLS. Good for him. Good for him. He believes in himself and he thinks he can do better than MLS. And I think he can too. I heard that Mexico will host the U20 championship in July. Is that the under-20 World Cup qualifiers? Thoughts on how the under-20 team will do away? I mean, a lot depends on who gets called up. There's a lot of very interesting under-20 players right now, right? If you think about guys that, let's say, won't be at the World Cup, that under-20 team could look very, very good, right? You could have Duran Ferre in goal. Shot. Ooh, no, cross. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Come on, Atleti. Do better. You could have Duran Ferre in goal. This guy's starting in MLS, although recently had some big mistakes for San Diego. Luca Bombino and Oscar Verhoeven, right? These are guys. Oh, no, I don't think Luca Bombino is eligible anymore, and neither is Oscar Verhoeven. But Peyton Miller, absolutely eligible, right? You have, Kevin Sullivan, Adri Memeti, and oh my God, Atleti almost scored. Yeah, Duran was benched in the last game, and fairly so. He was benched fairly so. He had some big mistakes for San Diego, and so he was benched for CJ Dos Santos, and then Dos Santos got injured late in the game. And then CJ, he came on for the last minute. We'll see what happens in the next game, but he was fairly benched. He had some good games, but he also made some big mistakes, big decision making, very poor, and he's 19, so you expect that at some point. It's about how he can recover. So then you've got Duran Ferre, who actually is not going to be eligible. I keep forgetting the under-20 World Cup is next year, so no, Duran Ferre is not eligible. It'll have to be some of our other guys. Let me see. So Kevin Sullivan, Adri Mehmeti, Julian Hall, Mathis Albert. Those four right there are eligible for sure. Andre Chirila, who's starting now for Cincinnati, the center back, and playing very well. Peyton Miller, for sure. That's a lot of good guys right there. Cooper Sanchez at Atlanta United. That's another guy. Come on, Atletico. Ball over the top. That's out for an Arsenal throw. Jude Terry is another one. Jude Terry from LAFC. Justin Ellis over at Orlando, who's got like, I think, 5 goal contributions in his last 4 games. So we've definitely got good U20 options. And MLS will be on break, so they should release them all. Luca Moisa at RSL got some minutes at the beginning of the season. Snyder Brunel at Seattle, I believe, also eligible. So Gozo, I don't think Gozo, he might be eligible. Let me double check. If Gozo's eligible, that's like a no-brainer, but he might be going to Europe. So I don't know. Yeah, Gozo is eligible. Gozo is eligible. Marvin Dills from Frankfurt. The problem with Gozo is he might be in Europe in July. Gozo might be in Europe in July. Otherwise, that would be a scary under-20 team. You have a midfield of Adri Mehmeti and Snyder Brunel, Kevin Sullivan in the middle, Mathis Albert on the left, Xavier Gozo on the right. That's crazy. Peyton Miller coming down the left as a left fullback. Up top, you have Julian Hall. Burnley Tildy, greetings. Hello, welcome. Marvin Dills from Frankfurt for sure, but I think he's been playing mostly with their. Oh no, he's been playing with our youth teams. But we'll see who he picks, us or Germany. Andre Chirila and Christopher Cups probably would be the center back pairing. Maybe what's his name? Ramiz Hamuda, who's playing it with in the USL with Birmingham Legion, but he's also going to Werder Bremen this summer. So in July, they might not let him. Goalkeeper, that's a good question. Diego Cochin's no longer eligible. Duran Ferre. There's Aiden Stokes from the New York Red Bulls. And there's Zachary Campagnolo from the Colorado Rapids. And then William Lodmel from Sporting Club de Portugal. So it'd be probably those 3. That would be my guess. Here comes Arsenal again, still 0-0. Who do you think we have a better chance of getting, Banks or Kobrith? I still think Banks, just because of the competition in that German back line, on top of the guys they already have, a lot of whom are still relatively young for the next cycle. Then on top of that, you've got Finn Jelch and Karim Koulibaly, who are both the same age or younger than Banks, starting for Stuttgart and Werder Bremen, respectively. Koulibaly could get a big move to Bayern or even Dortmund this summer. So I think Noah Kai Banks has been, this is my honest opinion. I think there's another one at Roma as well. Thank you. I don't remember it. Demarzi at Roma, who's been sitting on the bench for them. Giorgio Demarzi. Forgot about him. The thing about Banks is I think his head has been turned by Germany's interest, but I think when push comes to shove, he'll look around him and go, oh, this is going to be really hard to break in. It won't happen for the World Cup, but I think at some point in the next cycle, we have a higher chance of getting Banks than Kobrith. But we'll see. Kobrith also, Germany's also very stacked. Yeah, what happened to Kevin Sullivan? He's starting to get, starting minutes now in MLS. Has looked decent to good, but hasn't had like a really incredible moment that gets people excited yet. So still waiting on that. And that Philly team is terrible this year. Worst team in the league. I think they have 5 points from 8 games or something crazy. Do you think this match stays low scoring or goals to be expected? I think low scoring. I think Arsenal's going to have a lot of the ball. I think Atletico is going to sit very deep. Although Atleti have a corner right now. No, Arsenal has a corner. I'm sorry. Saka, what was that? Saka's volley completely misses the goal. Kind of an awkward volley. Yeah, I don't expect a lot of goals in this game. Typically, it's a semifinal. I expect it to be very cagey. You also have two teams that are very cagey, very physical. Atletico is going to defend for their lives. Arsenal isn't exactly known for free flowing attacking football. It's lots of throw ins and set pieces. So I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I wouldn't even be surprised if this game went to extra time and penalties. Saka. Could Banks end up like Koleosho? That guy is washed and still thinks he's too good for USA, Canada, and that Italy wants him. Well, he's gotten a few goals this season for Paris FC in the Ligue 1. But yeah, he isn't a very good player for sure. And he's still playing with Italy's under 21s. But also, bro, like you want to play for Italy's senior team. But Italy doesn't even go to World Cups anymore. So why? Don't you want to go to a World Cup at some point? Oh, but Pete, next time they'll go to the World Cup. I don't know. We've been saying that every cycle. We've been saying that every cycle, and Italy keeps failing over and over. At some point, when you do it, look, missing one World Cup, it can happen. Even we did that. Missing two World Cups is a travesty. Missing three World Cups, you just can't be taken seriously anymore. Oh, good cross from Arsenal. Headed away, edge of the box. There's so little space for Arsenal right now. Shot from distance, well wide. Well wide. They might go to this World Cup because of Iran. No, Gianni already said Iran was going to be there. Infantino said that. Four in a row, and you'd have to take away Italy's World Cup stars. I know, it's kind of a disaster, man. I mean, as bad as things are for the US at times, hey, at least we're not Italy. That could be so much worse. After the day after Italy failed to qualify for this last World Cup after they lost to Bosnia, I was on set shooting something, and the assistant director was Italian, and I was giving him so much shit. He didn't want to talk to me by the end of the day. I was like, man, what happened there? Oh, come on, Lukman. Not a lot of chances. We're about 20 minutes in, almost a quarter of the way. But so much can happen in the world from now to the World Cup. That is true. 6 p.m. delivery. But wouldn't you be embarrassed to even go to the World Cup if you were Italy? Like you failed to qualify, and then all of a sudden you're just there because Iran. That's like absurd. I don't think anyone would take it seriously. Like, if anything, first of all, Iran should go to the World Cup. Second of all, if for whatever, if they can't go, it should be a team from Asia, from their confederation. It shouldn't just be Italy, shouldn't just be handed it on a silver platter. Atletico have a little bit of the ball right now, not creating much. We're 20 minutes in. Arsenal win the ball back, but that'll be a foul on Llorente. Simeone. Declan Rice with the foul there. Going by the shameless Moroccans, I'm not sure. Not all would be happy about it. I'm sure most people would not be happy about Italy being there. Iran's going to be at the World Cup. A lot of Persians in LA where they will play. Yeah. That I'm telling you guys, if they're at the World Cup, that Iran-New Zealand game, there's a lot of Iranians here in LA. A lot. And also a lot of Armenians. And some of those Armenians are also Persian. Is there a chance Gozo goes to the World Cup, or is that too far-fetched? No, there's a chance. There's a chance. It just depends on a lot of different factors. We have 26 guys, but I think it's like you got guys at the edge. I don't know if Diego Luna's at the edge. He wasn't called into the last camp, and Poch hinted that he struggled in the new system. So we'll see if Luna ends up going. But there's a chance Gozo could go. I heard Poch's assistant coach watching MLS games to scout for players. Yeah, they're always watching MLS games for sure. I mean, look how many MLS players they've called up. What's Gozo's ceiling, Pete? It's tough. It's tough to say that because my instinct says Gozo is a more goal dangerous Tim Weah. That's his ceiling. But he could be better. He could be far worse. It's really hard to know for me. And here's why. In MLS, the time and space that you get on the ball and the quality of the defending is so bad that attacking players can look better than they are, right? We really only get a good look at Gozo when he goes to Europe and where he goes in Europe. But if you want my assessment of his ceiling right now, I think a more goal dangerous Tim Weah. That would be that's his ceiling. No, Lookman's not looking good at all. Long ball from David Raya. Straight to Atletico Madrid. What was he doing? I find it interesting that Gozo is being claimed to be the American Lamine Yamal. First of all, Gozo's already older than Lamine Yamal. He's 19 years old. He's already older than Yamal. Yamal won the Euros with Spain at 16. Gozo was playing in RSL's academy. Like, that's absurd. If you want to make a closer comparison, but it's still not even remotely close, you have Mathis Albert, who at least is closer to Lamine Yamal's age, but Mathis Albert is almost 17 years old and just made his debut. Lamine Yamal won the World Cup, the Euros, when he was younger than both of those guys. Declan Rice trying to make something happen here. Griezmann tries to foul him, but his cross is knocked out, and that'll be an Arsenal corner. Yeah, hit the like button, guys, if you haven't done so already. Daryl DK is coming off the bench for West Brom Digital HD Technology. He's got 2 goals in recent games. I think he even started one of those games. But, I mean, look, until Daryl DK is back scoring 20 goals a year in the championship, if he ever is, he's not a factor in any way, shape, or form for the national team, guys. It's, the guy's had years of injury. He was never a very good player, for one thing. For another thing, he's been injured now for years. I just don't think. Oh my God, nobody at the far post. Arsenal could have scored. Great little cutback. Nobody there. Declan Rice. Calafiori, cross way over everybody's head. That'll be a throw in for Madrid. Yamal is a Ballon d'Or contender at 18. No one ever for the US has come close to that. Yeah, it's not like, guys, for any comparison with any American player and Lamine Yamal are absurd. We'd be lucky to get an Antoine Griezmann one day, What World Cup games are you going to? I will not be going to any World Cup games because I refuse to pay those absurd prices. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. Kevin is our Lamar. It's not. Kevin Sullivan is not even close. If anybody has a case in CONCACAF for the next Lamine Yamal, it's Mexico. It's Mexico. All right, Jan Oblak, but even he's not that good. Even I heard Rokas Puks scored recently. Yeah, he just scored on the weekend. A very nice diving header. 9 goals for Hajduk Split. He just needs to get out of the Croatian league. Can you display the score? Jar says, "Oh, please, Mora is so overrated." No, I think he's overrated too. But if there's anybody, but he's closer to Lamine Yamal than Xavier Gozo. The guy at least won his domestic trophy when he was 16 years old. Pete, I'll be at the Turkey game. I'll listen to the live watch along in the stadium. Congrats, 6 p.m. I hope you didn't have to pay too much to get that. Who would you say has the highest ceiling, Gilberto Mora or Mathis Albert? Right now, I would still say Mora. I would still say Gilberto Mora. For Mora, it's going to be how long is he going to stay in Liga MX? I think he needs to go to Europe because if he stays in Liga MX, he could become yet another flop. If they price him out of a move, he could become another, not a flop, but compared to the level of expectations. At 16 years old, he was Mexico's best player at the Gold Cup. But Liga MX has a problem where they overprice players and they don't end up moving to Europe, right? I mean, look at the Mexican player playing at the highest level in Europe right now, the young Mexican, not including Raul Jimenez. is who? It's Obed Vargas. And that was because MLS was willing to sell him. MLS at least does a much better job than Liga MX of selling players. Oh, nah. Atletico really haven't done anything. Apart from that one early chance they had. Foul. Calafiori's fouled. Mora is overrated. He's decent at his age. Mexico just doesn't have any other creative players. So that's why he stands out. Brian Gutierrez also looks like Maradona for them. Yeah, but I mean, Mora's better than Gutierrez. He's still just 18 years old. He's had some minor injury issues. He's back now. But look, for Mora, the main thing is going to be how good is he? We have to see. Go to Europe. Or let's see how he does at this World Cup, right? That'll be a big test for an 18-year-old with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And he's not helping the pressure by saying that Mexico are favorites to win the World Cup. It's like, are you insane? Come on, dude. I know you're excited, but like saying stuff like that doesn't really help your case. It puts a lot of pressure on you and on the team, and it just makes you look silly. You can say we have an outside chance to win the World Cup, which in my opinion, even that is absurd. You could say we think we have the chance to go really far in this World Cup. Sure, okay. Host nations get that bump. So yeah, but like we're the favorites to win the World Cup because we're playing at home. Are you insane? So the 6 p.m. delivery, you can say you can win it. You have to say you can win it. Sure. But he didn't say we can win it. He said we're the favorites. We're the favorites. No, Poch never said we're the favorites. He said, why not us? And you want to try, of course. But saying you're the favorites is a very different story. Who's Cooper Sanchez? Cooper Sanchez is an 18-year-old midfielder who's been starting all season long for Atlanta United and got his first assist in MLS after a midweek assist in Open Cup, or a midweek goal in US Open Cup, and then got an assist this weekend. An 18-year-old central midfielder. Just give me a semifinal and I'm happy. A semifinal, I'm through the moon. If we make a semifinal, that's huge. That's huge. Boring football. Oh my God. Jan Oblak almost gave it away. All right, here comes Atleti down the right. Oh, Griezmann cuts it back. Oh my God, shot, blocked. Oh, dang. Oh, he was offside. University Traveler, how are wingers' situation in the future, Pete? Will we be able to develop good or world-class wingers before the 2030 World Cup? Look, world-class, I'd be very surprised. Again, it depends on your definition of world-class. I'd say world-class, you're talking about, top 5 player in their position in the world. I don't think that's going to happen before 2030. But some elite wingers are definitely possible. You've got Mathis Albert and Xavier Gozo already. So that's 2 good wingers right there. Other than that, I don't see a ton of very good wingers. Cavan could end up as a winger, but I think he'll end up more as a central midfielder. We'll kind of have to wait and see. But right now, it's Mathis Albert and Xavier Gozo. Can't really think of any wingers in MLS at the moment. Peyton Miller, for me, more of a left back than a winger. I don't really see outside of those two. There's a kid named Benji Flowers, who's 15 years old, who I think just got signed to a Dallas is trying to sign him to a first team. And there's a lot of European interest in him, but I haven't seen him play, so I can't really speak to that. Trying to think, I don't really see outside of Albert and Gozo. There are other midfielders coming through, like Nico Shakiris or Jude Terry or Cooper Sanchez, Snyder Brunel, Adri Memeti. I just don't see any like pure wingers apart from those two. Do we even play with wingers under Poch? No, but Poch isn't going to be here for the next, cycle, very likely. So who knows what the next coach may or may not use wingers. Do we even? How about Baby Haaland? Baby Haaland, that's Chase Adams. Chase Adams is a striker. Oh, he actually got his MLS debut this last weekend. Played 1 minute for the Columbus Crew after scoring a goal in Open Cup in midweek. Here comes Arsenal down the right. Saka, Caliafori, tackled, goes back. We're going to see a lot of this, guys. Berchimas is the only other one I can think of. Yeah, Tizer, but Charlotte aren't even playing Berchimas. He's apparently doing really well in MLS Next Pro, but Charlotte aren't playing him in MLS. Which, to be honest, they probably should, because they're not very good. But I also don't think Berchimas has a high ceiling as some of the other guys in his age group. I think he's a kid who developed physically early, and that really helped him at the youth ranks, but he has yet to show anything at the pro level. Unlike any of his, ooh, Caliafori. Oh, blocked. Easy catch for Jan Oblak. Has Jalen Neal fallen off? Yes. Yes, big time, man. The injuries at LA Galaxy. Ooh, here comes Atleti. Nah. Yeah, injuries at the Galaxy, and then just very lackadaisical in his defending there, and then they ended up going to Montreal. Now he's an intermittent starter at Montreal. Him and Justin Shea, man. Big drop-offs. Brendan Craig, that's another one. Right now, the best center backs that we have are the younger guys, or the best prospects. You've got Christopher Cupps, although Berhalter's not playing him at all this year, which is bizarre to me. Andre Chirila has really stepped up this year. Ethan Kohler at 20, starting for New England Revolution. Obviously, Noah Kai Banks. Ramiz Hamuda over at Birmingham Legion. He's going to Werder Bremen this summer. We'll see how that ends up for him. Those are kind of our guys. And then there's Ian James at Sporting KC, still very, very raw. But there are some guys. No pen, no pen, no pen. I just got on. How's the game going? Very dull. It's 0-0 in the 34th minute. So that should tell you everything you need to know. And I'll bet when we look at at halftime, we can look at the score, the XG, and see how bad it is. Pedro Guimarães can play center back. Yes, but I think he'll end up as more of a left back. Then there's also Tyson Epsy at Orange County SC. Very young, 16 years old still, so we'll have to see what he looks like. Neil Pierre over in Denmark, second division. I don't understand why they're not playing him. Neil Pierre. Who else? There's not many. There's not many, guys. Enrique Martinez, but he's still with LA Galaxy's second team. As far as guys getting professional minutes, right now it's Andre Chirila and Noah Kai Banks. Ramiz Hamuda, but that's USL. Ramiz Hamuda, sorry. Christopher Cupps backs MLS Next Pro. Tyson Epsy, but that's USL. There are options. Josh Winder. Is he ever going to leave Benfica in search of playing time? He was supposed to go to Columbus Crew in this winter window. I don't know what happened, but dude, find somewhere we are going to play. Shot from Arsenal. Blocked. Atleti clears. Shea was looking good for Red Bull before getting injured. Yeah, he was. He was looking quite good, but he's also 22. I think Ethan Kohler, right now, Ethan Kohler is your boy over at New England. He's starting and playing well for New England. And then you've got Andre Chirila. Brian Oko is not off the table. Switzerland has a lot of center backs. Brian Oko is not off the table, and he's starting in the French league. Thoughts on Alex Freeman on helping Villarreal make the Champions League? I mean, look, he started the last 2 games. Good for him. Hopefully he'll start more of the games, and I'm proud of him. But he didn't really help Villarreal make the Champions League. I guess he did. How about Matthew Dos Santos as left back? Very raw still. He's getting beat every week in MLS. Very, very raw. I think he could still be. The kid is 17, right? So he could still be good. There's also Peyton Miller at left back. Is there a chance Brian Reynolds makes it back to the USMNT? Honestly, I doubt it. Because you already have Dest and Weah who play his position. Scally also plays his position. That's 3 right there. Then after that, you've got other young right backs coming up, like Oscar Verhoeven at San Diego or Frankie Westfield over at the Philadelphia Union. I just think he's going to be surpassed. Freeman was integral to Villarreal this season. What do you mean? Yes, he got a grand total of 2 starts. No, but you're right. Brian Oko is not off the table yet. I think Switzerland has a lot of center backs, but it would require somebody to go recruit him. So we'll see what the next coach does. Arsenal on the ball, not creating much. At least if we get BJ, we'll know who do a ton of recruiting. Yeah, let's hope so. I think, honestly, the only MLS coach I'd be okay with taking over for the next cycle is BJ Callahan. He's did well enough as the interim when he was there, probably some of the best we've looked ever. And then, followed that up doing very well at Nashville. The only downside is he doesn't have any head coaching experience outside CONCACAF, but he did go to the World Cup as an assistant. So he does have some level of understanding of what it takes at the World Cup level, right? So I'd be okay with BJ, but nobody else. Not Brian Schmetzer, not Steve Cherundolo. Just, I'm sorry, no. None of these guys. Our player pool is leveling up, and I think we need to continue to level up with our coaches. Doesn't mean we have to get another Pochettino necessarily, but we need more than MLS coaches. Don't sleep on Nathan Harriot right back. Why not Schmetzer? Because Schmetzer is a huge MLS homer. He's only ever been at one club in one job, and he's been successful with Seattle in MLS. Good for him. The problem is, what does the future look like, right? This is a guy who we don't know what he looks like outside of MLS. And also, he's been pushing for like more MLS players to be on the World Cup. He's a huge MLS homer. I think we need somebody with a better understanding of the global game, which Brian Schmetzer, I'm not so sure he has. I'll be very honest. He loves himself these MLS lifers, and he keeps, saying it's a travesty that Roldan's not on the team. It's like, dude, you want to be the national team coach. You can't have players like that. Go bring back Jordan Morris. No, I think after this World Cup, there could be some coaches that over punch, like with smaller teams, and get them to play greater than the sum of their parts. Those are guys that we could maybe look at as well. But can BJ adopt depending on the team we are facing? Is he stubborn? Yeah, these are questions that we don't know, right? And that's a problem with guys who we have limited data on. It's hard to know. I mean, the ideal candidate is Pellegrino Matarazzo, right? He's the ideal candidate for me. But he's not going to want to leave Real Sociedad this summer. He's just not. So I don't see him as a realistic target right now. All right. Arsenal building out of the back here. Still 0-0, and we're almost at halftime. I just don't want anyone that was associated with Berhalter. I get that, but the problem is, well, not the problem. The thing about BJ is that he looked very different. We looked very different when he was in charge compared to Berhalter. He's also outperforming Berhalter in MLS, right? In fact, tonight he could make the CONCACAF Champions League final. Oh, that's a very, very good tackle. Man, that could have been an Arsenal goal so easily. Little ball in behind. Oof. That was close. Here comes Atleti. He's offside. Still 0-0. That was Ruggeri. That could have been an Arsenal goal if he hadn't stuck his foot out and made that very important deflection. Do you think Marko Mitrovic could potentially be good enough? I think maybe eventually. We have to see how the guy's only been a club coach for less than half a season. I think a national team coach should have experience, guys. You have to you want experience because you need to have a large sample size at various clubs. People who've only been successful at one place are a risk because there's lots of reasons why a club is successful. The coach is a very small part of that, right? And so what happens is sometimes you're successful at one club because the environment is perfect for you, but you put the coach in a different environment and he can't replicate it. And so that's the problem with low sample size people, right? Especially if your sample size is just MLS. And that's even an argument against BJ Callahan, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. Oh, in the future, yeah, maybe if he does really well with New England. The problem for MLS coaches is they're not taken seriously in Europe. And that is very fair, right? Look at the last two MLS coaches to go to Europe. Eric Ramsey went to, was it West Brom? No. Eric Ramsey, yeah, he went to West Brom. He didn't last 20 games there. And then, of course, there's the whole Wilfred Nancy debacle at Celtic, which was an absolute disaster. Those two MLS coaches were, I mean, Nancy was one of the most successful coaches and largely considered the best coach in MLS and couldn't even do it in Scotland, right? And then people, oh, it's an outlier, whatever. And then Eric Ramsey goes the same season and is fired by West Brom after barely 15 games in charge. So, Jesse Marsh, probably the most successful coach that MLS exported, but even he had lots of failures. He did fine with Salzburg. He didn't fail at Salzburg, but actually the coach after him did better with the same team, right? And then he also had Haaland there, don't forget. And then he went to Leipzig and was an absolute disaster, stubborn, inflexible. Started off well with Leeds, but then was rightfully fired by Leeds. Oh my God. Jan Oblak off his line. Gyökeres, what is he doing? Cross to nobody. He's going to shoot. They're taking too long on the ball. Shot, saved. Goal. Offside? No. Bukayo Saka, goal. Not offside. Watch US Soccer hire Southgate because he's the embodiment. Oh my God. Okay, Bukayo Saka, 1-0 to Arsenal. 1-0 to Arsenal. Atletico now need a goal right before halftime. And to be honest, guys, I'm not totally surprised. I said at the beginning of the stream that Arsenal was the better team, was better in Atletico, and have looked better today as well. Was cursing at Trossard for not shooting. Thank God we scored anyways. Maybe Johnny will get some minutes in the second half. That was a very good run by Gyökeres. Holds the ball, picks it up, crosses it to Trossard. Trossard takes his time, shoots, and Saka's onside. Yeah, he's on. Yeah, he's very much onside. 1-0. Bukayo Saka. Arsenal could be in the Champions League final against either PSG or Bayern Munich. Time to sub in Johnny as a false 9. He is a good finisher. Haha. All right, all the way back to Jan Oblak. Atletico. Arsenal. I don't know what Atletico are going to do now. And this is kind of the criticism of Atletico, is that what's the plan? They want to, defend for their lives, right? Defend for their lives and try to hit you on the counterattack. But then what happens when you get punched in the mouth? So Arsenal's now got a goal. Okay, now what? So what are you going to do? What's the plan? You're going to go all out attack? You're going to stick to it? Because I don't know. If you stick to this... Oh, it's halftime. Halftime. Let's see if any Arsenal player or Atletico player step on the Arsenal badge. Such a stupid thing. Jokes aside, imagine he scores 2 goals and becomes a hero. Yeah, and then Matt Doyle and Alexi Lalas will still tell you that Roldan should go to the World Cup over him. All right, we'll see what happens in the second half. But as of right now, it's 1-0 to Arsenal. Very boring game. Very, very boring game, for sure. Very dull. Arsenal look like the better team. Atletico Madrid, same thing they always do. Sit back and defend for their lives. Let's look at the stats here. So here, look at the expected goals, 0.95 and 0.15. Guys, 0.95 and 0.15. The 0.95 for Arsenal, 0.15 for Atleti. 7 shots for Arsenal, 2 shots for Atleti. 32% possession for Atleti. 1 big chance for Arsenal, none for Atleti. Let's see all stats here. Big chances, 1 and 0. Big chances missed, 0-0. 5 fouls committed by Arsenal, 4 fouls committed by Atleti, 3 corners for Arsenal. Definitely Arsenal's the better team at home, for sure. Honestly, they were the better team away. Definitely, they were the better team away. So I was not surprised to see Arsenal look good at home so far. It's not over. It's 1-0. Anything can happen. I genuinely can't wait to see Alexi get humbled by Thierry on Fox whenever he tries to give a stupid take. Yeah. So, guys, as much as we would like to see Johnny in a World Cup Champions League final, I don't know if that's going to happen. Arsenal look like the better team, and they're in the lead. Now, the question is, does Johnny come off the bench in the second half? Do they make substitutions to change anything? I mean, Marcus Llorente has a lot more experience than Johnny. So I don't know if they would make that change. And Johnny's not exactly an attacking player either. So it's not like if you need a goal, you bring on Johnny. I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see. Amazing how opposite this tie is to Bayern PSG. Yeah, that 5-4 is crazy. What do you guys? Who do you guys want? Do you want Atleti to win? Do you want Arsenal to win? I know we have a lot of Arsenal fans in the chat right now. I thought Atletico were better in the second half last match, but weren't clinical enough. Arsenal might gas out a little still, but let's see. They could. The problem is that Atleti's doing all the running, right? Arsenal has all of the ball, and so that's forcing Atleti to do the running. So if anyone's going to gas out, it could be Atleti. Anyone but Arsenal. Are you a Tottenham fan? Chelsea fan? Atletico can't stand Arsenal haram ball. Yeah, but today haram ball is Atleti. Arsenal's actually been playing better. They've had more of the ball, more possession, more attacking intent. So would never be able to watch AFTV again. Oh my God. AFTV would go nuts. Yes, digital HD technology. I saw that. I didn't watch it. I saw it. They put it out there. It's utter nonsense, and especially because they used AI slop to make it. I will not be watching that. AFTV fell off after 2020. Also, I want to see Mackwell suffer just because Arsenal lost to Atletico. Is he Mackwell's an Arsenal fan? I didn't know that. Arsenal, since it's about time we get some joy, says Judgmental Deity. While we're in a lull here, Pete, thoughts on Brendan's season with Leeds? If he gets to 10 Prem goals and assists, it's a major accomplishment for him in my mind. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. That's definitely a major accomplishment for Brendan. Leeds fans have come around on him. And to do that in the Prem is not easy. He should absolutely be in the World Cup roster. The problem with Brendan is that, you know, he's in a very stacked position for us, right? You're talking about Tillman, Pulisic, McKennie, Reyna, Aronson, and then probably Luna or Zendejas. So it's a very tough position for him to get on the field. But I can see him as a defensive sub because a guy who's going to work hard and press, maybe in the last 10 minutes if you're trying to protect a lead. That's where I can see Aronson being useful at the World Cup. I just can't see Aronson being goal dangerous at the World Cup or creative at the World Cup level. We just have so much data on Aronson for so long now. It's really hard to see it. Do you think Reyna makes the roster as is? Yes. Yeah, I think Reyna will make the roster. I don't think he'll start, but I think he'll be on the roster. I think Poch understands who Reyna is, and he understands that having him off the bench, especially when you can take 26 players, he is a wild card. If you need a goal, you could bring him off the bench. Will it work? I don't know. But I think he also did enough in the Paraguay-Uruguay camp to justify a spot on the roster. We'll see. To Reyna's credit, not that this is any great accomplishment, they are starting to give him more minutes off the bench. Instead of 5, he's getting like 20, 25 off the bench. Look, guys, I think Reyna is going to be back in MLS very soon. But for this, and I think his USMNT career is going to be over not long after this World Cup, just because it's been so long now of him not performing, and we have other guys coming through. But for this World Cup with 26 players, I would still bring him. I'd still bring him. I just think off the bench, he's a wild card. And I don't think he's going to cause problems off the field. I think he's sorted whatever was in his game that happened in the last World Cup. I think he's going to, know his place, and I think he's not going to be a problem. But off the bench, and he showed this against Paraguay and Uruguay, he's still a guy that can create for us. And that's why he's there. But I just don't think it's going to last. That's my honest opinion. I think he's so slow now, and he's not getting playing time. I think he's going to end up in MLS, or I think he'll do fine and he'll have a nice little career. And ironically, he might get more USMNT chances. But I don't think he's going to have a very long career mainly because of the injuries. Like, he was never a very explosive player. He was quick because he had long stride, but I haven't seen him do a full-on sprint in years. And I think that his muscle injuries and maybe fear of re-injuring himself are affecting him mentally as well. And I just don't think that lends itself to a long career in any way, shape, or form. Reyna would go to LAFC, not Galaxy. I think he would more likely go to the Galaxy than LAFC. Or maybe he'd go back to NYCFC. Zach Drummond says, if Roldan goes over Brendan Aronson, I will be so upset. That's even a possibility is insane. Yeah. Saw Tessman wasn't in the lineup for Lyon last weekend and not listed as injured in FOTMOB. Anyone know the deal? He hasn't really been playing for Lyon recently. It's definitely worrying. I wish they would convert him into a center back because, boy, we could use him. We really could use him at center back. Reyna is the reason why I'm not hyping Mathis Albert. Exactly. Average Joe, that's a smart move. I like Mathis. There's something there that's promising. But, it could be, he could become Pulisic. He could become Reyna. We just don't know. LAFC has one DP spot open, and Son could use Gio. Yeah, but does LAFC want Gio? I don't know. I'd be very surprised. I don't know that Gio really fits in there with them. But maybe. We'll see. Do we have a projected Poch World Cup roster at the moment? Not yet. I'm going to do that with TAC right before the roster drops, maybe a week before. Albert is already better than Cole. Who's Cole? Like Cole Bassett? Oh, Cole Campbell. Yeah, he's already better. Guys, no. Look, Cole Campbell was never lighting up the youth teams the way that Mathis Albert has been. And I said this in another video, guys, but Mathis Albert, in a year and a half with their youth team since he joined from LA Galaxy, has 40 goal contributions. Christian Pulisic in the academy for Dortmund, in the same amount of time roughly, had 27 goal contributions. Gio Reyna had 17. So already at the youth level, he surpassed both of those guys. And he's made his debut almost 100 days earlier than the previous record of Gio Reyna's. So that's impressive and encouraging, but it doesn't mean much in terms of how good he's going to be in the long run. That we're just going to have to wait and see, hold our breath, see what he looks like. Don't call him anything. Don't say he's going to be Lamine Yamal. Just be like, maybe, we'll see. It's up to him. Whatever happens with this next generation, we can't hype them up the way we hyped up this golden generation. Because this golden generation got very entitled. This generation got very entitled. We're the golden generation, but they hadn't really proved anything yet. They also came through at a time where there was nobody else. So we had to filter all of these guys in because we were coming off of Kuva, right? And all of these guys that were retired and were too old. And so we brought in the young guys. McKennie, Pulisic. Well, Pulisic was already there. McKennie, Adams, Weah, Gio, Musa, Dest, right? All of these guys. Chris Richards. They all came through the pipeline. And they've all had decent club careers, except for Gio and Musa. They've been hard flops. But everybody else has had decent club careers. But from the national team, they haven't done anything yet to earn the title of Golden Generation. And instead, when they get criticized, they get very mad and call people evil, which is very bizarre. Or feel entitled and decide to take gold cups off and, go jet skiing in Miami instead, right? So I would say with this next generation, there's definitely some promise. Let's pump the brakes on calling them anything. Let's make them earn it and prove it. All right, guys, let's have a word from our sponsor, FanDuel. I'm looking here at FanDuel's Premier League odds, but we can also look at the Champions League odds. Literally in the middle of the game right now. For Atletico Madrid to win this game is at plus 1,300. Honestly, guys, that's not a bad bet at plus 1,300. That's not a bad bet at all. It could happen. I don't think it will, but if you have $5 lying around and you put $5 on that, Atletico Madrid winning, very, very doable. Spider Zlatan says, you also need more good players to encompass a generation. Yeah, 100% true. 100% true. Nicholas says this current generation didn't have a group directly in front of them, mentoring them at the international level. Yeah. And not that it's all his fault, but they also had one of the worst mentors ever in Greg Berhalter. He was like wanting to be buddy-buddy with them, let them do whatever they want, had a very relaxed environment, training. You could play golf. You could go to the hookah shop after the game. You could go hang out with your friends. Your mom could bring candy. Like, the whole thing that they tried to sell us on, that Berhalter was a culture builder, he built one of the worst cultures that we've ever had in the national team. He helped to foster, and it's not all his fault because these players also are very soft, a lot of them. But for their 6 years that they entered the national team from the ages of like 18 to 24, 25, this environment of do whatever you want, you're the golden generation, was absolutely a huge problem for this national team. And Pochettino is trying to change that. I don't agree with everything Pochettino is doing, but I understand what he's trying to do here. And I agree with you. This generation didn't have a group directly in front of them, mentoring them at the international level, for sure. That could help this upcoming generation. So, guys, that's 1,300. But bet responsibly if you're going to. Paris Saint-Germain winning at Bayern, very, very possible at plus 310. As far as Premier League odds, guys, the only interesting one is Brentford at Man City. I wouldn't probably put money on that. Wolves, dead last, winning at Brighton. Unlikely, but plus 800 is always an interesting bet. Hit that like button, guys, and thanks to FanDuel for sponsoring this channel. All right, teams are coming back onto the field. So second half should start soon. I doubt we're going to have any subs from either team, but we'll see. Arsenal's out. Atleti's not there yet. Gabriel Jesus, could he come on? How many decades would it realistically take for the MLS to become a top 5 league? It's not so much about a matter of time because they're artificially squashing spending. So it's like it could be another 30 years and nothing will change if they keep the salary cap the same or only raise it incrementally. And then you have the problem of stakes. To be a top 5 league, you have to have serious stakes. You have to have promotion relegation. Number one, you have to have more, not 60% of the teams making the playoffs. The regular season has to mean something. If the regular season doesn't mean anything, it doesn't matter. You can spend all the money you want. You'll still just be an exhibition league. You might be a high quality exhibition league, but you'll still just be an exhibition league. All right. Game second half is kicked off. Arsenal winning 1-0. Atletico need 1 goal to take this to extra time. Just 1. Throw in for Atletico Madrid. Oh my God. They stole the ball. Nope. Atleti wins it back. I'm so curious what Atleti are going to do now because I don't think they can just do the same thing here of sitting back and absorbing pressure. You need a goal. You have to go forward. The problem with that is that's also going to create space for Arsenal to exploit in transition. And that's where Arsenal can really be lethal. Like Arsenal getting that first goal. Here they come. Ball over the top. Headed down. Arsenal clear. Foul. Foul on Gyökeres. Gyökeres. Atletico should have been sitting back anyway. They don't have the players to do that anymore. Should or shouldn't? They definitely have the players to sit back. But they might need some changes here. Maybe Sorloth to come on at the 60th minute. I just can't see Atleti looking very dangerous with this lineup. It's a very defensive lineup. Oh, should not have. I mean, they don't have the same sort of brawlers that they used to have, but they still have a very defensive team. I don't know. Atleti don't look like they're going to score. And as I say that, they venture into the box. Terrible cross, easily headed away. Arsenal now, back to Atleti. Atleti still has it. Yeah, Lookman has looked very shaky. How are Arsenal minus 400 up 1 goal? On FanDuel, Atletico Madrid was plus 1,300 to advance. Plus 1,300. That's crazy. You put $5 on that, you're going to make what? 700-800 bucks? Whoa. Here comes Arsenal. Big transition moment for Arsenal now, and this is where Atleti have to be careful. They're going to push forward in search of a goal. That's a foul on Trossard in midfield from Llorente. I see why Llorente started over Johnny. I do. He's much better defensively than Johnny is. Not much better, but he has more presence, physical presence, which I think you need against a team like Arsenal. Lookman is the reason they didn't win the first leg. Yeah, he didn't look good in the first leg either. All right, free kick for Arsenal, about a third of the way up the field, maybe. Not far from the halfway line. Declan Rice. Saka. Cross. Nope. No penalty. Antoine Griezmann with a ball to nobody. Like, who was that for? You guys have a good transition opportunity, and then it's just a long ball over the top. I don't know, man. I think they're going to need some changes. Is Johnny going to come on? That's the big question right now for USMNT fans. I don't know how much it cross to nobody. Arsenal try to clear their lines. Hopefully Johnny gets at least 20 minutes. Yeah, let's hope so. But at the end of the day, we want Atleti to win, which doesn't look very likely right now, guys. Calafiori to take the throw in for Arsenal in their own defensive half. Ref says get up. Atleti have the ball. Long ball from Atleti Madrid to who? To who? Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. Keeper comes off his line. David Raya comes off his line and misses the ball completely. Oh my God. That was close. Okay, wait. Watch this right now. That's crazy. Long ball over the top. Looked like a long ball to nobody. Then Arsenal heads it up. Saliba heads it up. Oh my God. That's a very, very good challenge by Gabriel there. Any penalty shout? I don't know. There could be a penalty in that, guys. Not for the first challenge. Iffy. Iffy. Corner for Atleti. Raya punches it away. Shot from distance was never going anywhere. He didn't even have time on that. Oof. What type of profile does Atleti need to sub in? Well, I'd bring in Sorloth for one thing. Sorloth is actually a very good attacker. Who else do they have that they could bring in? I mean, there's Johnny Cardoso, but he's really more of a defensive midfielder. Thiago Almada. I mean, they don't really have a lot of attackers that you're like, yeah, he's definitely going to be goal dangerous. But like, that's pretty much it. Thiago Almada and Alexander Sorloth. Yeah, that was a missed chance for sure. I don't know. If Letty, that was maybe your chance to equalize. 53rd minute. Throw in for Arsenal from Calafiori. Is Nico on the bench today? Let me see. No, Nico Gonzalez is still injured. Yeah, he's still injured. Llorente to Griezmann. Oh, good tackle by Arsenal. Gives it to Llorente. They definitely need help in that attack. I mean, they got lucky with that long ball, but I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like they ever really had much of a shot in this. Atletico Madrid. Down to the left. Switched out. Down the line. So Atleti having a lot of the ball right now, not doing much with it at the moment. Like the one big chance they had just came from a poor clearance from Saliba or a poor header. Oh, Griezmann with the bad giveaway. Here comes Arsenal now. 4v3. Declan Rice to Gyökeres. Shoots. Blocked. That's where they really have to be careful. All right. Game is starting to open up a little more now, though. Man, Griezmann is so ready for MLS. So ready for him. What were you doing there? Cross to nobody. I don't know. There's going to have to be subs at some point here from Atleti. I can't see this being sustainable. I'm kind of surprised that Simeone managed to stay in Atletico for a decade. How did it manage to stay for that long on a club? Well, for one thing, he does more with less. They don't have the same budget as many of the teams they're competing with, but he always has them there in the top four in Spain. They generally do well in the Champions League. Look at them now. He plays a very distinct style that fits the Atletico Madrid budgetary needs. And so they, for them, that's he's their guy. Because you could argue with the budget that he's operating on, nobody else has the same level of nobody else has the same budget or can do more with the budget he has. I'm sorry. Here comes Atleti down the right. Griezmann, shot, saved. Oh, cleared. Oh my God, penalty on Griezmann. Tackled in the box. Ref says no. Let's see the replay. Okay, so blocked, saved. Comes in for the second one. Touched him. I wouldn't call that a penalty. Oh, maybe there on Griezmann, Caliafori. I don't know that I would call that a penalty, guys. That seems very soft. We'll see what VAR says. Miles Lewis Skyley playing midfield. Interesting. Yeah, he's been in midfield the whole time. So here, it's Griezmann. Oh, you could argue he stepped on his toe. Yeah, that could. He stamped on his foot. That could be a penalty. Let's see what VAR says. All right, so he's going to the VAR booth. No? Nothing from VAR? Guess Sorloth is on and Johnny is on. Nope, that's not Johnny. That's Molina. Molina's on. It's not Johnny, guys. Oh yeah, Johnny is there. All three of them subbed on. So they took off Lookman, Simeone, and Lenormand, and they brought on Molina, Sorloth, and Cardoso. Let's go, Johnny. Lucky there. The foul on Gabby first saves Caliafori from giving up a pen. Yeah, that's probably fair. All right. Johnny has 33 minutes here to try to help Atletico Madrid. So Arsenal's making some subs too. Caliafori's off. Hincapié is coming on, the Ecuadorian center back. Mandueke is coming on. Arsenal's going to go full haram ball. They're going to go full terrorist ball now. Oh, my God. Johnny will score or assist. Let's go. Oh, I would love that. Would love that. Okay, so Eze is off. Trossard is off. Damn, they're taking out a lot of attacking players. Saka is off. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is Arteta going to go full terrorist ball for the last half an hour? Dang. Can Madrid score a goal or not? I mean, they can. Of course they can. They've had opportunities here and there. One goal is very possible. Very possible. Oh, and they're bringing on, what's his name also? Wow. Interesting. Yeah, Odegaard is on. Odegaard, the Norwegian, is on the field. I'm going to lose my mind if we give up a goal. Anyone tell me, can Madrid score a single goal? Yes, of course they can. Of course they can. Like anybody, like at this, 90 minutes, 33 minutes left. Of course they can score. All right, Johnny, we need a strong performance from you today. Good. He wins a first header. Ref says it's a foul. What? Maybe Johnny will bring some bite into this midfield. Raj, settle down. We already said they can score a goal. I know you're pressed because you bet on it, but chill. Yes, they can, of course, score one goal. Doesn't mean they will. Arsenal with a shot over the bar. Yeah, I don't know why he took off Eze also, but I think he wants to go full haram ball. Arteta Haram ball for the rest of this. That's what I think is going to happen. Yeah, so they took off Saka, Eze, and Calafiori and brought on Hincapie, Madueke, and Odegaard. Arsenal still having plenty of the ball, brought on some fresh legs. Atleti will see what happens after all these changes, if they can do anything about the game. Ball over the top. Oh my God. Easy catch for Oblak. That's a foul on Oblak. Get up, Odegaard. Or good. You're not Odegaard. That's Gyökeres. Get out of here. Don't even start. That was your foul on Oblak. So he's trying to say that was a foul from Oblak. Maybe he wants to rotate them for a game against West Ham. I think he's trying to win this game primarily. I think that's what's going on here, guys. I don't know how much rotation he's doing 1-0 up. Oh, here comes Griezmann. What is he doing? Oh my God. All right. Here's Johnny on the ball now. Simple pass, making the right call in the build out. They look very ponderous on the ball. Johnny, what's he going to do with it? Simple pass to Llorente, occupying space. Looks active and involved so far. He's not hiding. Steps up forward, loses the header. Arsenal trying to turn. Good challenge from Atletico. We should be subbed for Almada and go to a one-striker look. Maybe. Griezmann, I don't know. The guy definitely looks ready for him. He just does. Throw in for Arsenal. Boy, do they love these throw-ins. Surprised they haven't tried to throw one into the box yet from the halfway line. Clearance off Arsenal. Atleti throw. 28 minutes to go. 28 minutes to go. Johnny is on the field. Can Atletico Madrid win this game? That's the big question. Nice work there. Down the left. Johnny's supporting him. Johnny on the ball now. Johnny with a good pass forward. Back to Johnny. Back to Johnny in midfield. Switches it out to Llorente. Definitely starting to pick up some momentum here. Llorente doesn't want to lose it, but he does. Pressing Arsenal. Arsenal clear their lines. A bit better from Atleti. A little better. Saludos, Pete. Is the opening game for the USMNT in the World Cup still not sold out? Yeah, I think it's still not fully sold out. Oh, here comes Johnny again. Johnny's been very involved since he's come on. Foul. Johnny just won a foul in a very dangerous. Odegaard just fouled Johnny in a dangerous free kick position for Atletico Madrid. Man, almost feels like Johnny should have started this game. He's been really good since he's come on. I mean, it's been 5 minutes, so yeah, the hotels are not booked up either. Guys, it is such a sad situation with the World Cup. Between FIFA, mostly FIFA, and also our government, particularly some of these county governments that are like ratcheting up prices for transport, like in New Jersey. But man, FIFA just gets more corrupt every year. Okay, Griezmann's going to take this. Long ball, Arsenal clear. Atleti still have it. Not going forward with it much, just sort of holding. Arsenal defending in the low block right now. Ooh, nice little switch. Cross goes straight to Raya. Johnny changed the whole game. He brought grit and determination. Well, let's it's been 5 minutes. Let's pump the. I mean, that's a good start for sure. I wouldn't say he's changed the game yet. Let's see how he looks for the next half an hour. Arsenal having a lot of the ball right now. They're going to be trying to play keep away with Atleti. Arsenal ball down the line. Early cross. Gyökeres. Oh my God. Gyökeres. One-on-one with the keeper. And this is why he gets so much criticism. Oh my God. Oh my God. Gyökeres over the bar. Over the bar. Their warning from NJ Transport for people not to walk to MetLife Stadium is going to be a shit show here in New Jersey. Saludos. Oof. That should have been 2-0 to Arsenal. Atleti are very lucky that Gyökeres can't finish. Back to Jan Oblak. Long ball from Oblak. They've got to push forward on these long balls. They don't win the second balls enough. Come on. Atleti, you got to win those second balls. They're not doing that. Johnny. Okay. Better. Building it out slowly. Switch over to Llorente. Long ball to nobody. Come on. Balogun would have scored that. Oh, yeah, 100%. Balogun would have scored that. Lewis Skelly is on the ground, injured. I don't know how bad it is. He could also be time wasting. Obed Vargas is still on the bench for Atleti. Balogun scored twice from there on the same play. Free kick for Arsenal, close to the center circle. I don't know, man. Atleti just don't look like scoring right now. Free kick. Arsenal going to go along with it, maybe? No. Ball in behind. That's a good ball, but it's way too hard. Nope. Poor ball. Goal kick. Obed never debuted in Champions League. Yeah, Champions League, guys, this is a big jump. He just got there from MLS in the winter. Let him settle in to see how he does next season. Jan Oblak. Atleti building out here. Llorente. Down the table. Leaves it for Sorloth. Sorloth fouled. Ref says no. Ref says no. Honestly, it still looks like Arsenal's the better team. Like, Arsenal still looks like they're going to win this game. If anything, they look more likely to score again than Atleti do in getting a goal. Big switch. Oh my God. Big giveaway. Shot from distance, dragged wide. Trying to catch Jan Oblak sleeping there. Ben White. They're really building out under this Arsenal pressure here. Dang. Madueke put a lot of pressure on them. All right, 70th minute, guys. Pete off topic, but with all the Mexican American kids coming up right now, which national team do you think is most attractive? It's very hard for me to answer that question, and it probably varies. Um, there's so many, complex factors that you got to factor in. Number one is opportunity. What position do you play in? And, who's ahead of you in each respective national team? Richie Ledesma and Brian Gutierrez both wanted to represent the U.S., but they didn't have a path to the U.S. because there were better guys, much better guys ahead of them. So they switched to Mexico. Obed Vargas always wanted to play for Mexico. So it doesn't matter what would have happened, right? It just depends from kid to kid. How much you feel tied to your Mexican cultural roots, how much you want to represent the US, how much of it is opportunity, how much of it is recruiting, how much of it is family pressure. I'm sure there's some geopolitical impact as well. But I think at the end of the day, most players will go where the opportunity is, the majority of them. All right, another corner for Arsenal here. Another corner for Arsenal. Would Balogun be Arsenal's number one striker if he stayed at Arsenal? That's a tough question because for him to get where he's at right now required a lot of patience and understanding with him as he was growing and him allowing to make mistakes. I think the pressure at Arsenal would have been a lot for him to grow. It wouldn't have been the ideal place for him to grow, but the time at Middlesbrough and then at Rennes and even now at Monaco has given him the time that he needed to grow into who he's going to be. So it's hard to say, would he be their number one right now? Because we don't know what he would look like. Maybe the pressure would have been too much for him. All right, Madueke wants a corner. Ref says no. That's going to be a goal kick for Atleti. Arsenal making another sub here. Llorente is coming so deep. All right, substitution for Arsenal. Guys, while the substitution is happening, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Whoa. How many substitutions did they make? Zubimendi is on for Lewis Skelly. Who else is on? Yeah, jumping from League One to the Premier League is a big challenge for sure. If only Atletico had Reina to create a super sub like Pepe. I don't think either of those guys would play for Atletico Madrid. Although maybe Pepe is a super sub. Reina, definitely not. He's the opposite of everything Atletico is. He's not a brawler. Maybe a Tyler Adams, I could see being more of an Atletico Madrid fit. Come on, do something. There we go. Down the left. Cross. Corner for Atleti. Ben White with the good defending there. Not allowing Sorloth in. Corner comes in, cleared. They don't win the second ball, and Arsenal clear their lines. Ball over the top. He's onside. Cross, flicked on to nobody. Sorloth will chase. Oh, foul. Foul on Gabriel, and of course, Simeone is losing his mind. They have 16 minutes to find a goal here. Chat, am I muted? No, Benjamin, we can see you. You're good. "15 minutes. And I'll be honest, guys, they don't look like scoring right now. Atleti. Long ball from David Raya. Flicks it on. Llorente has it. Oh, Johnny missed a tackle there. Shot from Gyökeres. Way off. Not even close. Not even close. He really snatched at that. Who is the favorite for tomorrow? PSG or Bayern? I don't know. I think it's tight. I think it's really tight. It's very hard to say between those two. I mean, 5-4 in the last game, anything can happen. Who do you think the favorite is, K Plum? Kane going to win the Ballon d'Or with tomorrow's performance is my prediction. Could be. Bayern look like a unit. And it's very hard to win the Champions League twice in a row for PSG. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who do you want to win right now? Oh, Atleti. I want Atleti to win because of Johnny. I always back whoever has the USMNT player on it. Johnny's on the ball right now. Pushes it wide. Molina down the wing. Can he keep it in? Nobody crashing the box. Easy catch for David Raya. Gabriel goes down injured. Tight as Wando in a World Cup game. Too tight to call for me, but PSG have that goal cushion. Yeah, the goal cushion definitely helps, but it's what, 1 goal? And they're playing away, right? It's at Bayern? It's hard to say. The Macronical. I'm an Arsenal fan. Come on, Arsenal. Hang on. Alex Cavan says, I back Arsenal. I'll be honest. Arsenal looks like they're going to win this. Atleti they've been trying, but they just don't look like they have the quality to score right now. Here comes Arsenal. If anything, Arsenal look like they're going to score a second. Madueke was robbed in the box. But what are they going to do with it? Sorloth can't hold on to that. They can't even win the second ball. They're trying to go long to Sorloth, but then there's no pressure to win the second ball, and then Arsenal gets it back. Will you and TAC continue to cover the USMNT following this World Cup? Seems like an implode is incoming. I think we'll at least go to the end of the year, and then we'll see what happens after that. It's so hard to make a call right now, guys. We have to see what it looks like. So much of it depends on interest too, right? I think there's an exciting new next generation coming in 2030 also, but I can only continue to do YouTube if people are watching. Already, it's a very niche sort of topic. So you work very hard and, views are never going to be big. And that's okay. We've accepted that a long time ago. We're not doing this for the money. But when you spend 25 hours a week working on the channel, at some point you also have to support yourself and get a job and all that. So we'll just see. We'll just see how it goes after the World Cup. Atleti can't even win the ball back. Even when they win it back, they give it away right away. They don't look like they're going to score here. Looks like it's going to be all Arsenal. Giuseppe, honestly, only watching USMNT for you guys. I'm very fed up by these guys. I know, we all are. But let's hope for a good World Cup. Boy, the fan base has never needed an injection of energy more. Here's Johnny. Ooh, nice ball to Sorloth. Sorloth on the wing. He's 1v1 with Saliba. And he's robbed. Nope, still has it. Tucks it back. Ball into the box is cleared. And Arsenal clear their lines. Atleti trying to build some momentum here. Cross clearance. Still Atleti. Arsenal are now in the bunkering position. Everybody behind the ball. Atleti struggling to find space of any kind, especially at speed. Ball in behind. Llorente's cross. Raya does well to tip it away, and Arsenal will clear. Can Madueke hold on to it? Nope. Atleti have it back here. Oh, shot. Easy. Llorente with the shot. Easy catch for David Raya. Something to build on, but they're going to need a lot more of that right now. Nice little flick on from Sorloth, but the shot was way too easy. Oh, Gyökeres, that's going to be a foul. That's going to be a foul for sure. Dangerous free kick for Arsenal and a yellow card. That was good play by Gyökeres there, to be fair. Benjamin, your analysis / reporting is so high level. Have you ever considered making a move into professional punditry or mainstream reporting, or do you prefer staying independent? It's not so much that I prefer staying independent. It's that in order to become a pundit in the American soccer landscape, you have to become an MLS shill. And I think I've done enough damage to my reputation, like, that I'm not going to just shill for MLS. I'm not going to shill for MLS players and shill for the federation. That's what you have to do to be a pundit in this country. You see it, all of them. All of them. They all have to do it. To some degree or another, they all do. I'm not interested in that. TAC and I were even approached by US Soccer. And they basically said to us, we'd love to work more with you and be more involved with you. And I was like, sure, we'd love that too. But can we still say whatever we want to say? And it became very clear very quickly that we would not be able to say whatever we want to say. And I'm not talking about like cursing. I'm talking about like, you criticize Berhalter too much, like MLS players, you criticize, like, look, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. If I would rather be small and independent and have freedom to say whatever it is I want to say than become a mouthpiece for shill media and for billionaires. I have no interest in that. So I appreciate it, but I do this for passion. I do this because I'm excited about the future of soccer in this country, even though the people running soccer in this country are either imbeciles or actively trying to destroy the game. But I do this out of passion. There's nothing about the game in this country that makes me feel like I could do more by becoming a shill on a network. And also, it's a very old boys club. Even if I shilled, I still don't think they would give me an opportunity. All right, Atletico Madrid here, trying to build out of the back. They go long, well, relatively long. Oh my God, Molina just gave it away to Madueke. Madueke into the channel. Atleti recovers it. They have 7 minutes to score, and they don't look like they're going to. I can't see Atleti doing anything. You're bullying the millionaires that get paid to do what they love way too much. Yeah, I always find that funny when they're like, oh, the MLS players are sad because people are criticizing them on Twitter. People criticize me on Twitter, and I'm not making any money. Like, grow a pair. Guess what? You want to be a professional soccer player? That comes with criticism. Deal with it. Say MLS is great. Hold piece of paper saying I got gun to my head. But I'll never have a gun to my head because I won't work for people who won't let me say whatever I want. Here comes Arsenal. Challenge from Llorente. That's a corner for Arsenal. Again, it's just like, they don't look like scoring. If anything, Arsenal look like scoring. Almost a dangerous two-footed studs up challenge from Llorente there. Arsenal with the corner. If they score now, this is well and truly over. Madueke will make England's squad. Maybe. Maybe. K-Plum doesn't rate him. K-Plum, you don't want him on the England squad, right? What if that Saudi gave you that paycheck to be an MLS hater? I don't want to be an MLS hater. I criticize MLS very heavily, but I also, especially this season, have given them a lot of props when they're doing the right things, like giving minutes to teenagers. I've made multiple videos about what, especially some MLS teams, are doing very well in giving teenagers more opportunities and player development. It's a massive improvement this season. I'll give them credit there. Then I'll criticize them for all the things I think they're doing wrong. So I don't want to be an MLS hater just to be an MLS hater. People think I'm an MLS hater because I'm not a pom-pom girl. They're like, oh, if you're not a pom-pom girl, you're just a hater. No, it's just I've lived around the world. I know what soccer looks like. Oh my God, Sorloth, what was that? Oh, that's worse than Gyökeres. Oh my God, he choked. Oh, he choked. Oblak to Llorente. Do you think the Whitecaps will actually relocate? I think they will, yeah. And all the pro clutching from MLS media, to me, is hilarious. I'm like, y'all have been shilling for billionaires for years and saying this is the system. We don't need private run community clubs. We need the franchise system. We need all of that. Yeah, okay. And then what? Now, when the franchise system makes you a victim, which is what they will do because they don't care about soccer, they don't care about community, they don't care about the loyal fans, they don't give a fuck about you. They care about one thing, money. And so they're going to do what's best for their closed league. So why are people acting all surprised? It was like, oh my God, the Whitecaps might have to relocate. Yeah, you've been shilling for these billionaires for years. And now you act surprised when you turn around, they do the exact same thing that we've been saying they do. You're in a closed league. It's an LLC. Okay. It's a glorified exhibition league. So here you go. That's a classic example right there. The Vancouver Whitecaps can move because they're all the same company. It's not a club. It's a McDonald's. It's a McDonald's soccer franchise in the city of Vancouver, and they can move it if they want because they're all the same thing. It's not clubs. You're just a franchisee. You're just an owner operator of one franchise of MLS LLC. I don't know why everyone is so surprised by this. I'm just like, yeah, duh. Oh, foul on Johnny as he turned away from pressure. Judgmental deity. Same folks that suck off MLS now surprised MLS is being shitty. LOL. Surprised Pikachu at that point. Yeah, I'm not remotely surprised. If anything, I'm surprised by all the pearl clutching. It's like, yeah, duh. What did you think? You think MLS cared about communities or fan bases in any city at all? They tried to move Columbus less than 10 years ago, right? They had no problem moving Columbus to Austin. In the end, it didn't happen because local ownership came in and saved them. But if they hadn't, they would happily have moved Columbus. They would not care. All right, Atleti, 2 minutes. And I just don't think they're going to score, guys. I just don't think they're going to score. Crazy shot from outside the box there from Alex Baena. Way over the bar. They ain't going to score, guys. I can't see it. They just don't look even like they have the confidence, forget the capacity to score. The combination play has been very poor. Arsenal fans going to their first Champions League final, guys. Let's see how much added time is there. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes? 5 max? Guys, tonight Nashville plays Tigres away in an attempt to advance to the CONCACAF Cup final. How many of you want me to do a live watch along for that? Let me know. Do you want me to do a live watch along? Because I don't want to do it if like 50 people are going to be there. Could BJ Callahan get Nashville to a CONCACAF Champions Cup? Here comes Arsenal. Llorente steals it. Watch them give it away. Nope. Sorloth trying to hold it up. Come on, shouldn't you guys be pushing forward right now instead of playing around with it around the back? None. I don't want to hear the MLS hate. Misael, I'll be on Nashville's side tonight. Believe me, I criticize MLS, but guess what? When they go up against Liga MX teams, I root for the MLS team to win. I'll criticize the play on the field if they're playing like shit, but I want BJ Callahan to be successful. I want an MLS team to be successful. I want MLS to win another CONCACAF Champions Cup. Jar says, I'm watching hockey, so I'm out. Go live for Nashville. A lot of you say yes, but then y'all better show up if I do it. If I do it, come show up and hang out. I have an early morning flight, 6 a.m. flight in the morning, so I'm trying to get to bed early tonight. But I'll do it if you guys are going to show up. I'll watch Tigres. They're not real teams, so what's the point? What do you mean, what's the point? The point is they're still playing soccer. Honestly, that's the most pressure any of these teams will face the whole season. I love CONCACAF Champions Cup because there's actual stakes in it as opposed to the MLS regular season that has no stakes at all, or not none, but very low stakes. Another foul on Johnny. My God, this guy's getting kicked. Long ball over the top. Yeah, guys, I can't see it. Goal kick for Arsenal. 5 minutes of extra time. We're about 2 minutes in. Hey, Pete, would Balogun fit either at Man City or Real Madrid? No, I don't think so. Guys, he's had one good season in Monaco, but let's pump the brakes. Can't go to one of the top 5 teams in the world directly from Monaco. He's still got weaknesses to his games, and he fits in a very certain system. He fits a counter-attacking team. I don't think he fits a possession team that well. Yellow card for Diego Simeone because he's accusing David Raya of time wasting. But Agyemang is, Agyemang's a Man City starter. Yeah, they ain't scoring, guys. Atletico Madrid ain't scoring at all. Not a chance. Gorlock flick on to who? Nobody there. Nobody making the run. This Atleti team has reached the end, guys. They're out of gas. They don't have the quality or the confidence to do anything here, and I'm not totally surprised. I did hear the rumors about Pulisic moving to Man United. I question whether going to the Premier League would be good for him. Guy, the Premier League is a very physical, very punishing league, and Pulisic is very frail, both physically and mentally. I don't think he would succeed going back to the Premier League. I think he stays at Milan. That's what he should do. But right now, he's got bigger problems than a summer transfer. Yeah, I could see Balo at Atleti Madrid. They don't have a proper 9 right now, really. He would be benched behind Bueno and Cunha. Yeah, I wouldn't put Pulisic on. But Balo at Atletico Madrid actually makes a lot of sense. The problem is Monaco paid 40 million for him. So they're going to want to return, probably in the range of about 60 million. I can't see Atletico playing that. If anything, I could see a Premier League team going in for Balo. Not a top 4 Premier League team, but like a good, maybe a Brighton. But even then, I don't know if I can see Brighton paying 60 million. Tottenham, if they manage to stay up, be hard for an Arsenal kid to go play for Tottenham, but these days anything's possible. 45 seconds left. And doesn't look like anything is going to happen here. Arsenal playing tricks with the ball. Yellow card. 2 yellow cards for both Arsenal players. No, it gives one to Koke also. Caliafori was the guy who stole the ball off the touchline. I mean, what are Atletico Madrid doing, man? What are they doing? Fights going on near the tunnel already. Go up. I don't understand what Atletico Madrid is doing. You need a goal. Go. All right. Throw in for Atleti. Arsenal win. Game over. Yeah, guys. So Arsenal advances to the final of the Champions League as expected. They were the better team in both halves. Atletico just didn't have the quality. They really don't to, beat Arsenal at this level. In fact, you could argue with the squad that they have, making a semifinal was very, very impressive. It was a dull game, 2 very boring teams. Not a lot of fun was created, but Arsenal now awaits the winner of PSG or Bayern Munich to see who they will face in the Champions League final later this month. Guys, if you want me to do Nashville versus Tigres tonight, Nashville are a 1-0 deficit and they're going away. So it's going to be very hard for them to find a win. But if you want me to do a live watch along for that, put 1 in the chat. Put 1. If you can't come for it, do 2. I just want to see how much interest there is if I do that live watch along, because my throat might be giving out. But if people will come and show up for it, I might do it. So far, we have 1-1. Come on, PSG. Save soccer against Arsenal, but beat Bayern first. We have 3 1s and 1-0. 1-2. Average Joe says 1. 1-1. All right. I'll try my best. Seems like a lot of you want me to. I'll do my best. Check in with me then. Check in with the channel. I'll put the stream probably an hour or so before if I'm going to do it. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging. Hit that like button before you go. Thanks to FanDuel for sponsoring this channel. What time is the game PST? I'll tell you right now. It might be late for the East Coast. It is at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you should be up. I know it's a school night, but come on. 9:30, you can do it. All right. Hang tight, guys. Thanks for hanging. Congratulations to Arsenal fans. Condolences to Atleti fans. You just didn't have enough. I'll talk to you all soon.